the firearm, you compare with the exhibit firearm. What was the procedure? I need to get that in my mind.
The procedure on?
You fire the two tests, right? The test fires. Then you go to the microscope and compare the two tests between themselves, right? You compare test 1 and, say, for example, test 3 and 4, where they fired from the same make of bullet.
Marot, I took 8 cartridges.
Yes.
And I marked them, because I took 2 from each, 2 from NGA, 2 from Sailor and Ballot, then the 2 from PMP, which were the FMJs, and then the other 2 I can't recall
Okay.
the manufacturer.
Yes.
And then I marked them all, and then I fired tests on them.
Yes.
And then before I could do that, I've compared my test with Warrant Officer Rule Officer's test first, the FMJs.
Yes.
And then I started with the other.
Engakwenza ke lana ukuthi ke ngithathe kulama ahlukahlukene ke ngithathe 2 ngisakhumbula ke enye ke ngiyazi NGA iCelio iPMP ngase kodwa ngaphambilini kokuthi ngikwenzeke lokho ngaqala ngaqhathanisa itest le yami kanye naleyo ka Rule Officer.
So what I'm trying to get is that you fired 3 to 10 consecutively, or you took breaks in between, went back to the mic and microscope and fired 2, or was it consecutive in the tank 3 up to 10?
I fired from 3 up to 10
Okay,
at once.
all right.
Ngadubula ke ukusuka ke ku3 ayofika ke ku10 ngesikhathi esisodwa.
Then from there, take us through how you went about your comparison there.
I started comparing the FMJs first with
Yes.
Warrant Officer Rule Officer's test.
Ngaqale ngase ngiqhathanisa ke manje iFMG netest ka Warrant Officer Rule Officer.
And after that, I started with the exhibit bullet, started comparing it with all the other tests.
Ngase ngiqala ke manje ke ngenhlamvu lena ke eyizibithi ngiqhathanisa yona ke kanye nawo onke amanye ama test.
Let me come back a bit, and this is for clarification as well, because I told you I'm a novice in this thing. The 3 to 10 that you fired, before you do the comparison, do you compare them amongst themselves to see whether similar marks were imparted on them?
Well, I compared them with, I didn't compare them among themselves first.
Yes.
I compared them with the exhibit bullet that I had.
Oh, okay.
Because I know it's a known match,
Okay.
because they were all fired by myself.
Okay.
Lana ke ngona ke ngoba zona zonke lezi kwadujulwa yimina ke yimini umuntu wayetesta ngase ngiqhathanisa ke nenhlamvu lena eyizibithi.
All right. So let's go to, and I'm going to request Advocate Baloyi. I requested that yesterday to assist us with the court charts that you prepared. And I'm going to ask you to take us through and show us, because in your testimony last year in August, when you testified about your findings, you said in the first one, and we didn't know what the first one was, or personally, I didn't know what the first one you were referring to. You stated that in the first one, you found 6 consecutive matching striae or striations in the same relative position. Is that my understanding of your evidence?
That's correct.
Yebo ngasho ke ukuthi ke lokuqala ke angaze iqala kodwa ke ukuthi wathola ke awu6 ahlanganayo lokubizwa ngokuthi ama-striations. Yebo uqinisekile.
So when we refer to the first one in terms of the court charts that were submitted, are we then referring to what is marked Exhibit X13E1 on top? I'm not sure if what you have has been marked, but the court ones have been marked so that we are on the same page. The one that has got the lab number, I think the lab numbers are the same, 217, 267 of 14 and 34369 of 15. Are we talking about this one? Are we on the same page? Is this the same one, the first page of this exhibit that is displayed there?
That's correct, man.
Yes, now, Colonel, I'm not sure whether you're going to be audible because we've gone through this exercise with our expert who's present in court for you to show us the 6 matching striae that you said you found on that exhibit. And also for purposes of clarification, the one on the left, because there's this division line, the one on the left is the exhibit bullet, and the one on the right is the test bullet, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Lena ke engako left ilona ke leli inhlamvu exhibit bese kuthi leyana ilena ke etesta ngayo.
Yeah, so if you can go, I'm not sure whether you've got a pointer that you can show at us, and just for the sake of background purposes, the method that you used, the 6 striations that you say you found, the criteria that you use is CMS, correct?
Yes, I use the CMS on the.
Okay.
Shilo ukuthi lana ngasebenzisa yona ke CMS.
So if you can kindly, Colonel, show us, I don't know whether you've got something to line up with to show us that these are the 6 striations that I'm talking about. Yeah, you can.
Must
you
I
can-
move to the.
Yeah, you can, Captain, Colonel. I'm not sure whether
Senzo is not going to pick up on the moves.
it's not going to pick up. Is this not movable?
No point.
No.
Sure. How far does it go?
Try to use. It's not a pointer, it's a laser. But I can start. I can try with the laser. My lord, I can try with the laser too.
With
With the laser pointer.
So what you're saying, you're saying his sound or voice won't come up to here because can you speak up,
Yeah,
Colonel?
it won't
Let's do it this way. Go there to the board. And as loud as you can shout, answer the council's question, right? Hello?
Yes, my lord.
And then thereafter, you repeat it to be recorded in the microphone so that it can be recorded. So the first one, you can shout like you're relating pirates.
He can use this microphone, it's been made available to him.
Yeah, so that the second one, then you talk so that when he tests whether you have recorded what you were saying previously, it can show that.
My lord, when I look at.
So, sorry, Colonel, before you start, your conclusion or findings was that you found matches on TB5 and TB9, correct?
Yes, as I have marked them here. If you look at on my left hand side, it's
Yes.
an exhibit bullet, which is marked 217, 267/14A2.
Lana ke yona ke inhlamvu lena ngithi ke yona ke exhibit noma ke yona le eyatholakala. Emakiwe ke lapha ku 217261482.
And the test bullet is this one.
Yes.
Test bullet is marked 369 TB5.
Yona ke lena engathesta ngayo ke inhlamvu ewu 369 TB5.
Okay.
Now, when you do microscopic comparison, when you look at them, what you're doing is you are not just set them and look at them, you move them also. You must move if you see if your markings, your striations continue to the side, not only on one spot.
Futhi ke uma ukwenza ke lokho ukuthi ke uyibheke ke awubambi indawoni eyodwa ke kodwa ke uyakhamba hambisa ubheka ke ukuthi lama marks lana awekho endaweni eyodwa.
In terms of sequence, let's do it this way because I want to be precise and understanding. First, and I'm not sure if it's the same procedure that you used. You've got the test, right? And then you take it to the ocular comparison microscope and you see firstly at the best marks that you can use for comparison. Am I making sense?
My lord, when you start searching, you cannot just start with the best mark. You start looking at the
Yes,
marks
around,
that are
yes,
visible, that you
yes.
can see.
Yes.
Sorry, let me suggest something. Tell the witnesses and myself and everybody in court, how did you go about testing the using the microscope, moving it above, testing the exhibit bullets and the ones, CMJs and, okay.
Thank you, my lord. I
So
mean, that is,
explain that way. Then he can cross-examine you, tell you that you were wrong to do this, or it never happens, blah, blah.
My lord, what I did is I took the exhibit bullet and put it on the microscope on my left-hand side.
Right.
And then I took the test bullet and put it on the microscope on my right-hand side. When you look through the eyepiece, you can see both items at the same time.
Ongakwenza ukuthi ke ngathatha le inhlamvu le ekulefike ngayibeka ke kuyona microscope le engibheka ngayo kuyisandla sami sokunxele ngathatha leya test ngayibeka ke ngaku right uma ke ubheka kuyona ke leyo microscope leyo uzibona zombili ngesikhathi esisodwa.
Right? You can start with your exhibit bullet. Try and look at the marks that is visible, that you can see clearly, that you can identify on your exhibit bullet.
Okwenzayo ke uqala ngalo izibithi leli ke inhlamvu lena ubheke ke ama marks abonakalayo kuyona.
And once you have a mark that you see on the striations that you can see clearly on your exhibit bullet, you go to your right-hand side on your test bullet. You start checking on all the grooves one by one. We can see the identical marks on your exhibit bullet, on your test bullets.
Usibonile ke manje ke leyo mark noma lawo ama marks ke lana usuya ke kusandla sakho sokudla ke ubheke ke kona ke ama grooves ukuthi ke ngaba uyabona yini lawo ama marks lawo usuwabonile ke kusandla sokunxele.
Right. Once you have seen the identical marks on both items, on your exhibit and on your bullet, you start counting how many are they, or how clear are they, or you look at the quality of your markings, or that you can see, or even the quantity of how many are they. Then when you start moving your exhibit, you move both of them simultaneously to the next groove. You check the next groove.
Okwenzekayo ke usuwabonike lawo ama marks uyawabheka ke ukuthi ke kanjani ke mangaki ke futhi ke ila uqala khona ke manje ukuthi ke usuyahambisa ke uwahambisa omabili ke ngesikhathi esodwa.
And on the next groove, you look at the markings. If there are any markings that can, if you can't see clearly the marks or there's no, you turn now to the next groove. So moving to your grooves, you must move on both items at the same time. You cannot move one and then leave the other one, because your marks must be relatively on the same position. So if it's on groove number 1, it must be on groove number 1. If it's on groove number 3 on this one, it must be on groove number 3 on this one.
Ingakho ke kufanele uma ke usujikelezisa ke ukwenze kokubili ke ngesikhathi esodwa ukwazi ukuthi uhambise yodwa enye uyimiseke ngoma uma ukuthi leyo mark leyo iku groove number 1 nangala kufanele be ku groove 1 ba ku groove 3 nangala ulindele ukuthi be ku groove 3 ingakho kufanele uyihambise ngesikhathi esodwa.
And when looking at that, you can see a pattern that matches on both sides. Not necessarily the striation, but you can see even a pattern, that this pattern also appears on this. You match that pattern, it must be also be in relative the same position.
Futhi ke la ubona khona ke naloko bakubiza ngokuthi ke indlela ke noma ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke ipattern ke futhi nokuhamba kwayo ukuthi kufanele ukuthi kube sendaweni noma ke position eyodwa.
You don't have to find 6 on all the grooves, or in some of the grooves you can find 2 or 3 that matches to 2 or 3, as long as they are on the same relative position when you rotate all of them.
Ayikho ke into ethi kufanele ke kuzo zombili ke uthole ke u6 ke kwenye ke usungathola u2 kodwa nje ukuthi uma uyijikelezisa uyathola ukuthi lokho kusendaweni eyodwa.
okay. Now, let's move to the 6 striae that you said you found on TB9.
On TB
This one.
5.
That is this. Is this TB5 the one that is displayed? Is it TB5?
My lord, as I said, when you look at them, you don't just look at one point.
Yes.
You also move them to the side.
Yes.
Now, there are, in some instances, you can see your marks clearly towards the edge of the bullet. But when you look into this one, the same marks that you see on this, because it's a striation, it continues to, you can see clearly towards the front of the bullet, not towards the back of the bullet.
Ingakho ke bengithe uma ukuhambisa lokhu kokuhambisa ngesikhathi esisodwa ke ngoba uma ukuthi ke uyawabona lapha ezansi kwenye nalena uma usuyihambisa nayo ke uyayibona ke uma isiya ke ngaphambili ke hayi ngemuva kuyona inhlamvu.
Colonel, I'm not sure whether you still have exhibit 4 on you, which is the exhibit bullet, and show us this part on the left relative to the bullet, whether it's at the base, in the middle, or at the front. I'm not sure if you've got it.
Which one?
The exhibit bullet, the actual projectile that was fired. If you can use that to demonstrate your explanation.
I'll rather use this.
Oh, the big one, yes. Yeah, show us with the model, big one, yes.
Now, when your bullet went through the barrel of a firearm, when you speak of the grooves, we are speaking of this, and the striations are these lines inside your grooves.
Yilokhu ke sikhuluma ngakho kuma sikhuluma ngama-striations yilama line la angaphakathi kuyona i-groove yakho.
Now, when you do your comparison microscope, your exhibit will be on your left, your test will be on your right.
Yes.
When you look through the microscope, you can see them as if they are joined together.
Uma ubheka ke lokhu ubheka ke onye eku-left enye ku-right. Manje ke uyakuhlanganisa ke uhlanganisa zombili uma uzibuka.
Right, let's say these are the best marks or the clear marks that you can see on your exhibit bullet. Now you start rotating the test bullet to see if you can see any matching striations on this one. That can continue with this one.
Asithi ke manje ke lana ke engiwabhekile ke iwona ke ama-marks wakho ekuwona wona ke manje usuzosebenzisa lena ke kuhlangothi langakwesokudla ke ubheke ukuthi akhona yini owatholayo ke afanayo nala.
Now if you haven't matched, like it's a continuation from that side to this
Yes.
side, you start moving them together to the next groove. Is the next groove matching? Now in this instance, what you see, the idea that is there, it's towards the back of the, somewhere here.
Lokho okubonayo la yilo kwathi kungasemuva ke lana kuyona ke lokho okubonakalayo la.
Okay.
Now if you look at your bullets towards the front,
Uma ubheka inkambi yakho ke phambili.
I just want to point out something.
Yeah,
like
fine.
this. Now when you look at your striation line,
Use that
The laser.
laser.
it's not clear.
It's not clear. Okay, fine,
It's
fine.
not clear.
All right, fine. Okay.
Now, when you look at the first one, you see this, I think that one continues to that.
Yeah, the first line.
Uma ubheka ke lo line lo uyaqhubeka ke ukuya ngale.
Now, when you look at this one, there's two others here, but they're not visible here, they're not that clear, but they continue there towards the front.
Ubheka lana kasenzansi ke. Uma ubheka ngalena ke awacacile kodwa uma ubheka ngalena ke aya ngokubonakala.
You have this one that continues straight.
Unaleya eya straight ngale.
It's this side and it's that side. You have here, yeah, this side is not that clear, but on that other side it's clear.
Lana ngala ayicacile kodwa ngale iyabonakala.
And my Lord, it all goes with experience and training that you have received.
Lokhu ke konke kuhamba ke nesipiliyoni ke kanye futhi ke noqeqeshwa okutholayo.
And we've said that those striations that match must be in the same relative area, correct?
In the same relative area, yes, they're in the same relative area.
position.
Ngishilo ukuthi la lokho kuhlanganayo noma ke ngathi kuyafanele kufanele ukuthi kube sendaweni engathi indawo eyodwa.
Because what I did not get, I'm not sure which line, is it possible to numerically identify the lines that you've seen, the striations? Should I, my Lord, I beg you to take with me closer here. I want to see something. Do you want to have a look? My Lord, we beg you just to be closer here. Yeah, wait for Mr. Peterson to get his. I was wondering if we can also go patch ourselves somewhere so that we can also
Yes, yes,
follow
yes. yes. No problem.
the explanation.
No problem.
Thank you, my Lord. Yes, thank you.
Hey, I want to hear everything which is said in this court. No whispering.
No, he was saying the
Yeah, yeah,
accused
I
persons
want to
are-
hear that.
Okay, my lord.
I want to
sorry
hear
about
that because
Okay.
that's evidence.
Sorry, my lord, about that. Yeah, Colonel, you can then approach the monitor and point at the lines for us.
When you look at the first one,
The first try,
the first two that runs like a rail train.
First two.
The rail, what? Train.
train, yeah?
These two here. Come back, I don't think it's clear, but we continue looking towards it. There they are.
On the right, they are clear. On the left, sorry. And when they move towards the right,
Towards the dividing line.
that's it.
They are not
They become fainter.
they become faint.
Right.
And they are clear again here towards the front of the bullet.
Uma uqala ke lama lana khuluma ngawufunele lana ayabonakala. Kodwa ke lana awabonakali kodwa uqhubekayo uya ngaphambili kwemthambo aphinde ayavela futhi.
Right.
We have a third one, this third one that continues towards the side.
Ube nalena ke futhi eqhubekayo yona ke iyophumela ngale.
Is that on the top of the left? Is that the third one is on top?
This one.
Yeah, is it the top? It's not the top.
No, it's on the same groove.
Okay, fine, all right.
It continues, but when it gets towards the, yeah, it's not that clear, but when you continue to it, it's also clear again.
Iyaqhubeka ke lana sekuya ngalena ke ulabona khona ukuthi iyavela.
On the right side, it's half clear.
Yes, just after the dividing line, it's half here.
And then
clear.
it becomes fainter.
Yeah, it becomes faint and then it
It's
becomes
fainter
clear again.
when you start, it's on the medium line. When it
after passing this dividing line,
it becomes faint,
it becomes a little bit faint,
that's it.
and then it picks up again.
And then it picks up, yeah.
Uma unje wecha ke kulo line ke lo ohlukanisayo ke ila engacace khona kodwa uqhubeka ke ila iphinde ibonakala khona.
And we come to this one, man. It's also visible this side, straight.
Bese siza kulo na lo line manje uyabonakala ngapha noqhubeka ke uya ngale.
It's visible all around.
That's correct.
Ndawo yonke.
And when you look up here, it's this one. It starts here. It continues to that side.
Musuqhubeka ke uya phezulu kulo yana ke iyaqala ngala akule iyaqhubeka iya ngale.
Yes, I'm with you.
And here, it starts here. This side is not clear, but it starts here. When you go towards the front, it continues to towards the front again.
Lo akhumba yayo ke line ukuthi ngala awucaceleke kodwa uma uya ngalena ke kula uyaqhubeka ke.
Okay.
And all these are on one groove, my lord.
Konke lokhu ke kuloku eyodwa.
What do you call those so that we all understand? Estraces.
Uma kubizwa lo kuthiwa ngama-striations.
Right. Okay.
Now, Colonel, sorry,
At
sorry.
the end of the experiment.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Colonel, with respect to this TB5 and the test bullet as well, the striae that we've just counted and referred to, are they matching consecutively according to you?
That's correct, my lord.
Mina ke ngokwami ke lokhu ke kuyahlangana ke ngokuhambisana noma yeah kuyahlangana.
Okay. So this one, we are saying that you found 6 matching consecutive striae.
That's correct, my lord.
Mina ke ngathola eziwu-6 maka amahlaya awu-6 ke ahlangana.
And then are those the 6 ones that you pointed out? How many did you point during this exercise here?
In 7, my lord.
La lokho qeda ukukhomba ke lana ku-7.
Okay. Then let's go to the one that you referred to that I'm not sure which one is going to be, because in your evidence in chief previously you said on the other one you found 5. So I don't know which other one you found 5. Can we, from the exhibits, show us which one you found 5?
E4.
I-4 ila engishilo-ke khona-ke ufakazi wami ukuthi ngathola-ke 5.
Show it, let's see it.
Is this what we are referring to?
That's correct. Khona lokho engikhuluma ngakho.
Again, Colonel, I'm going to ask you to repeat the same exercise by approaching the monitor and showing us precisely those five matching striations.
We'll start with this one. It's there and it continues to that side.
Sizoqala-ke ngale ikhombekile nesenzansi iqala ngalapho left iyaqhubeka-ke ngale.
We have this one that continues from this side. Also, the two that runs like a rail train.
Bese siba ngale ezimbili-ke nazo-ke siqala ngakulo hlangothi-ke lase-left iyaqhubeka ziya ngale.
We have this one, which is the fourth one.
Sibeke nale-ke ekhombayo ukuthi yesine yona.
And we have the sixth one, which is on, the fifth one, which is on top.
Bese kuba nale-ke yehlanu ephezulu yona.
And are you confirming that those 5 are consecutively matching striae as well?
That's correct.
Nazo-ke lezo ngithi nazo-ke ziyahlangana zihambisana.
Then finally, regarding this chart, Colonel, can we go to the one that you said you found 2 matching striae?
When you use the word conservatively, what do you intend? I know what you want to say, but is that the correct word?
Consecutive, that's the criteria,
No,
madam.
consecutively.
Consecutive.
Oh, fine, yeah, it's the
matching.
Z which confuses me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't come up with me, my lord. It's the term that they use in the field. I'm not using it.
If you look at E2 and E3, it's the same one. It's just that the
E2?
magnification is not the same.
Sorry, E
E2
and
and E3.
Lana-ke sikhuluma ngayo E2 kanye no E3.
What? The same?
It's the same groove, but
Yeah.
the magnification are not the same. I didn't use the same magnification. Well, I'm trying to enlarge it so that it can be clear.
Okay, but they are in the same group.
It's the
as
same
you say.
groove. It's on the same groove.
Fine.
Lana-ke sikhuluma ngegroove eyodwa-ke kodwa la bengizama ukuthi ngenze enkulu khona-ke icace kubonakaleke akufani kona.
You don't have a microscope with you here. You don't have.
No, my lord.
No, I was just thinking. Or a magnifying glass. You don't have.
No, I don't have the
So
magnifying
that a
glass.
doubting Thomas like me can take it and go and look at it and see what you are saying when you say it's there in the same group, but you didn't magnify it because you wanted it to be clearer. Am I quoting you correctly, sir?
That's but I took it. The magnification is not I didn't
Important.
use the same lenses. In one you can see it, and the other one I try to enlarge it so that it can be a bit clearer.
So one is enlarged.
The magnification.
Right,
When you
yeah.
use a smaller magnification,
That's it.
you can see it, but you can't see it. When you increase your magnification,
Yeah, it becomes
like
diffused.
you bring it closer so you can see them better.
Ukuthi yenzeke igqameke ibenkulu-ke uma ngisebenzisa-ke amaglasi ahlukeneke enye-ke kwenye noma le encane yona-ke ayibonakali ngokucacileke kodwa enye-ke uma ngabe bangathi iyasondela-ke iba nkulu.
But they are also predicated on the same principle that they have to be on the same level.
That's correct, Maro. They are
Yeah,
on the same level.
On
and
the same level, so that we
relative-
mustn't think some of
on the
us
same
that
relative
they are,
position.
they are haphazard. They are on the same level, as you said, that's the principle.
That's
And then-
correct, my lord.
And then you move them together in the sense of the scope, the microscope, when you
Microscope.
move them also.
That's correct, Maro.
Fine.
Nanjengoba ngishilo-ke ukuthi kufanele ukuthi zibe ku-level eyodwa-ke uma sewuhambisa-ke ngayo-ke i-microscope ukubheka-ke ukuthi sendaweni eyodwa.
So with respect to what you say, they are the same groove, one to different magnification, E2 and E3. Which one between them is the larger magnification?
E3, you can see, but you can't see it exactly clear as E2.
Ku E3 uyayibona kodwa ayiboni ke ngokugqamileke njengoba uyibona ku E2.
Which one is this now? The one that is displayed, Colonel, if you can look at the monitor, is this
That's
the,
E3.
that's the magnified
E3
one?
lona.
Is this the magnified one? I mean the...
That's the E3, yes.
Okay, and then if you then approach the monitor again and say, if you can see the two striae that you said you saw consecutively there.
You can see these two, man.
Lezi mbili uyayibona.
What are those?
Those are the striae created by the groove of the father.
Ilawo ke amastraya ayiziwe yiyona ke igroove yaso ispan.
Let me return then to my okay. All right, and let's go back, Colonel, in respect of the first where you identified 6, 5, and 2 retrospectively. Respectively. Where are the individual characteristics as opposed to those characteristics here? What
Those
were
are
we-
the individual
were we looking
characteristics.
for
The
individual
ones that I was
characteristics?
pointing out to you, individual characteristics.
And-
Lokho engicela ukukhomba ke noma lokho bengikhombile la ngaphambi iwona ke lama characteristics awodwa ke engikhuluma ngawo ukuthi iwona abhekwayo.
And even E2 and E3, the ones that you say are similar, are also individual characteristics.
That's correct, man.
Kanye naye ke E2 no E3.
And then let's go to E4 and E5, because I want to know how many identifications have you made. E4 and E5, are they one and the same thing or different things?
E4 and E5 is the same markings with different magnification.
U-E4 no E5 ama-markings ke afanayo ke kodwa ke uma uwabheka uwenza amakhulu ke ahlukile.
Thank you, my lord. Let me return to my station. My lord, I'm going to request that we take, having had the exercise done, to take instructions from our expert so that I can continue with my
You want me
cross-examination.
to read?
What's
What's your time there, sir?
3, my lord.
20 to 3.
You want me to adjourn, or what do you want me
Yes,
to do?
yes, my lord.
For how long? Forever or when? 2 weeks?
Until 3, my lord, is 22.
Until 22?